happy Saturday from Sensation. What a crazy intro, right? Marketplace Find Day. That's right. I went and picked up, first thing this morning, I went and picked up my weekend Marketplace Find. This was a funny one because I shot the guy an offer on these parts about a month ago probably, and he told me he had a buddy that was interested in it, so that his buddy was going to take it instead. So out of the blue, yesterday evening, I get a message from him that said, hey, if you still want to give me $100 for these parts, they're yours. So I said, sure. I didn't know what parts they were, but I figured if I shot the guy an offer on them that they were probably worth $100. So let's get to our marketplace score today. Boom. In the box even. Asus Z170 Pro Gaming motherboard. I see one stick of RAM in the wrong spot. I'll tell you what's in that package in a minute. Be Quiet CPU cooler. We got one stick of RAM in it. You know what? You know me. We're going to see what it is. It's in the right slot. It wasn't in the wrong one. I was wrong for saying that. It's an 8GB module, FC2400. G.Skill Ripjol. So that's our memory in it. I knew it didn't have much memory in it, but we can rectify that situation, right? Yes. The funny thing is I know that the processor is like an i3. So it's a little i3 6th Gen 6100. And you would know that by the Z170 board. That's 6th Gen Intel board. This cooler is not even hooked up, and I think it's barely even attached here, so probably no CPU paste on it. Let's try to get it loose from here, I guess. I don't... Help me understand what you're doing. Oh, there's paste on it. Maybe we'll put it back down. We'll work on that in a minute when we get it out of the box to test it. But we did get the I/O shield with it. Really pretty I/O shield on this one. Sometimes you see cool I/O shields, and then you see that guy, which is really cool. So we got this other box of parts over here. This was the i3 cooler. Look how thin it is. All the paperwork and stuff for the motherboard and everything's in this box. And in this box we have the power supply. We have basically everything except the hard drive and his in the case, because he used that for his new build. So what he used for a graphics card in this, and it's not much, guys and gals. It's not much. It's just the parts and some of the quality of the parts. But we got a 1050 graphics card right there. It's not a TI, it's a regular 1052 gig card. It's a Zotac, and it's a little card, so we could fit it in a small build. But we're not going to fit that motherboard in a small build. But you know that that processor's not staying in that board, and the memory's getting upgraded. So finally, we have a EVGA 400 watt power supply right here. And I'm going to happen to need that from another video that you're going to see before this. Because I robbed the power supply out of the gateway, and then guess what I did? I sold the gateway, and the guy wants to come and get it, so we got to get that power supply in it pretty quickly. And this graphics card. So I sold the gateway with the 400 watt EVGA and the 1050 graphics card. Because he's not using it for gaming, so he don't need anything extravagant. He has it in, he's going to put it in his man cave. So that'll work out for that pretty good. So finally, in this mess of stuff here, we have a CPU right there for the Fire PC. So we have what should be an i7-3770 in that package right there. I haven't opened it yet. But there is thermal paste on there, so that's going to help save us a little bit of time. And we are going to set all this stuff up, and we're going to test it and make sure it works, because I'm going to need that graphics card and that power supply in the gateway today. This right here, I think I have an i5 6500 sitting around here. And if I do, oh, what do we got here? i5 450 is not going to cut it. Let me get to some of these other ones, though. I'm pretty sure I got an i5 6500 or 6600 even. Oh, look at that. In a guy's hand, an i5 6600K. So we're going to pop that in this old girl. We are going to take the cooler off. We're just going to pop the i5 in there, because that'll get us ahead of the game anyway. That's probably what I'm going to leave in it to sell it. I got good videos coming up. This one will be a pretty good one, and I got some other ones coming up too. When you see, well, they're past, but I'll have even better videos coming up after this. This is I'm a week ahead now. This is awesome. Finally, week ahead on my content. This is what I've been trying to do. The marketplace finds have been picking back up. The sales are kind of they're right there. They're even kill. So we're moving some stuff out. We're getting some new stuff in, and that's what it's all about. I don't know where we're going to put this motherboard. Just like a lot of them, I don't really have a home for them. But the homes come and go. We'll find a home one day, and this will be a nice little i5 build for it. And be a cheap one. And that's what we're into, budget. And we got graphics cards now. You'll see that in the video where I bought the 1070 Ti and the 1080 Ti. So we got all that coming up. I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod, because we're going to have to do some testalizing on these parts, because I'm going to need these parts for our build. So without further ado, let's get you to the time lapse. All right, we are getting ready for testing on this board here, and the graphics card and the power supply. So we're getting ready to test what we purchased today. The only thing I went ahead and did was I took the i3 out and put the i5 in. So that shouldn't affect anything. I don't really care if the i3 works or not. Nobody uses that for gaming that I know. There's probably some people that do, or they wouldn't sell them, right? We don't need the we don't need the internet port. We don't need none of that. We do need to plug this power supply in though. That don't have an extra separate switch. Well, we got red lights on the motherboard. I'm hoping that those red lights are a good thing. I don't know. Let's figure out where we power this thing up at. I'm gonna have to move you guys and gals around for just a second. And then we need our straight screwdriver, because it works better for this. I don't know, maybe it ain't happy. I don't know. Power switches, these two. We got fanage. Well, we had fanage and then it quit. Now we got fanage again. So hopefully we get a post here. Keyboard and mouse is on, and we got a post, guys and gals. We're going to get into the BIOS right here. CPU fan error. That's odd, because the fan's plugged in and turning. I might have it plugged into the wrong slot. We'll have to check that. It shows our i5 6600 though, right there. 3500 megahertz. It shows the 8 gigs of RAM. So 2 keyboards. No, it don't have 2. It's just got 1. 1 mouse. Yes. Please enter setup to recover BIOS setting. It says CPU fan error. When RAID configuration was built, ensure to set SATA configuration to RAID mode. So let's get into the BIOS. Let's see what we got for better or worse. 25 degrees Celsius motherboard, 30 degrees Celsius on the CPU, 29 degrees. So that cooler's 28. That little Be Quiet cooler's working pretty good on there. This, of course, is an idle in the BIOS. We can probably plug a hard drive into it. I probably got one. We can put an NVMe drive in it. We can put my 2 terabyte in it and boot it to Windows. We may do that, actually. But I want to go to advanced mode, which is F7, because I want to look at some things in here. Looks like our date and time is correct. Obviously administrator. Let's go to advanced. No, we'll just back it up. We're just going to go in and make sure we're not set for RAID or nothing. I don't know why that's not backing up here. Let's try escape. There we go. Oh, where's our boot? That's under boot. Fast boot's enabled, normal boot, boot configuration. Okay, all that looks fine. I don't know why that back button's not working. Oh, CSM. We got launch CSM enabled, UEFI legacy. We'll leave it at that. I won't mess with that. Oh, look, we have secure boot. You can change that to Windows UEFI mode. You can do any of that. We don't really care. I'm gonna shut it down now, because what I'm gonna do, or what we are gonna do, set you up right here. Get the camera straightened out some where you can see the screen better, because we're going into Windows, buddy. And I probably got some tests loaded up on it too that we can try out. Maybe get you a little bit taller here. How's that? Right there. So hold tight just a second. We're going to shut this down and put a hard drive in it. We're going to have to figure that BIOS issue out. I should have switched the CPU fan to a different one, but let's go to F7, see if it's detecting our hard drive at the very least. Yep, Windows Boot Manager, Predator, SSD, GM7000, 2 terabyte. So let's go to exit and we'll see if we can boot into Windows. No, we ain't erasing nothing. Oh, we gotta go down to save changes and reset, so let's try that. Since we ain't made no... Alright, we're gonna reset it anyway. We'll see if we can boot into Windows on it. That's what I want to do here. We can boot into Windows, then we can do a little bench testing on our little 1050 and see what it's all about, right? Delete F2. Come on, baby, boot. Now we're getting a CPU fan error. Can we escape past that? Let's just fix that CPU fan. I don't know what in the hell is causing that. Obviously, I'm in the wrong fan header on it. We'll switch to the second fan header here. And we'll try this one more time. I don't like those red lights when you plug this in. Come on, Asus. But it bumps off pretty easy here. Well, it did bump off, and then it shut off and went back on. I'm clearing this stuff off on my phone. Got parts delivered. I'll have to go get them. Let's see if we get rid of the CPU error. What's it say now? Please enter setup to recover BIOS. So we got no CPU error that time. Something to do with RAID. I don't want RAID on. Rapid storage is off. Boot manager's F8. Excuse me. Where did they turn the RAID on at? We got normal boot, Windows Boot Manager, right? All that looks fine. Oh, I just exited. We're booting into Windows, so whatever we did worked. Well, we'll see if it boots into Windows. And we'll have to hook the internet up because we're going to need drivers in it. So I guess I'll go ahead and do the drivers, and then I'll turn you guys back on again so we can do some testing on it. It's got pretty red lights flashing on it, but I don't see any RGB connections, so I don't believe the board does any RGB, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just have to look at it. There's ROG extensions on the board. Oh, look at that. Did we got the drivers for it? No. Yes, we do. GTX 1050. The drivers are in it. We have internet hooked up. Yep, it's working too. Sweet. Let's go to NovaBench then. See if it'll open up. Because you know we're going to test it. We're going to test our i5 6600K here. This thing should do pretty well, actually. We're showing our i5 6600K, GTX 1052 gig, and 8 gigs of DDR4 with a Predator SSD, 2 terabyte. So I'm going to start these tests for you. You're going to go through it a lot faster than I do. It might be slower and painful for me, but it'll be a lot faster and better for you. We can compare this with our 4770 or 4790K. All right, so 103 on the graphics isn't anything to write home about, but this thing will still do some light gaming. There's no doubt about it. 314 on that 2 terabyte drive. What a good drive that is, right? 174 on the memory. We only got 8 gigs in it. Why? 497 on the CPU, though. We're going to compare that to the 4790, which is at 874. So that 4794th gen just smokes this i5 6600K. Smokes it. 1088 total, so if we go to the report, it's not going to look great. It's going to be better than 44% of all systems tested. CPU power consumption is lower than it should be, and the temperature may be above expected range. I looked at those temperatures, and they didn't look that bad, so I don't know what's going on there, but it's nothing terrible. It works. What can I say? We got to do some more tweaking to it, get some more memory in it, but we don't have a home for it yet, so we're not in a big worry. We got a home for some of the parts, and I'm going to go over that with you real quick. I'll get you off the tripod here, and we'll take a look at it running, and that's it, though, so not too bad. Not for what it is, not for $100, right? I already had the CPU because I did it. Another computer I sold, I'd upgraded to a 67 or 7700. So I had the CPU left over. In fact, it was the WhatsApp computer that I put into the case and sold. I put a 7700K in it. And I picked it off Marketplace for $35 or $40, so I got it cheap. So I don't have anything in the 6600K that's in here. We got $100 in all this right here. So $100, the motherboard, the memory, the graphics card, this whole setup. So what you seen get NovaBench test, that was our $100 buy. Our $100 marketplace find. And you basically got a gaming PC without a case, right? Well, of course, the hard drive is mine. That's separate. So without a case and a hard drive. But we have the power supply sold, because it's going in my gateway computer, because I robbed the power supply out of that to put into the RGB computer that I built, that you've seen the video on last week. And the Zotac 1050 is going to go in that computer because he's using it in his man cave, and he's not going to use it for gaming. So we're going to throw the 1050 in there for that, for watching videos and stuff. Because I'm sure that's what he's doing with it in his man cave. I'm sure he's hooking it up to the TV and watching videos and stuff. So we'll throw the 1050 in the gateway for that. It has the 3770, 16 gigs of RAM, and the 1 terabyte SSD, so he'll do really good with that build. And that's why I did it. I got to put you guys back on my selfie stick so we can close this one out. This isn't going to be a super long video, but that is my marketplace purchase this week. Well, this Saturday anyway. So far this weekend, that's my marketplace purchase right there. And it works good. What can I say? We got the Asus Pro Gaming Z170 motherboard, the GTX 1050. We came with the i3-6100. That's what it come with. I put the i5 6600K in it. EVGA 400 watt power supply. All of it works good. So we're happy about that. We already have the power supply and the graphics card that need to go in the gateway, because we took power supply out of the gateway for the RGB computer. And we'll have the 1070 graphics card for another build, right? probably this build. So this board, when it goes in a case, it'll probably get that 1070 put in it. Will I try to find a 6700K or 7700K for this build? Absolutely. If I can pick up another cheap one on Marketplace, I'll just grab a hold of it and put it in there, because then we get a capable i7 system on a really nice Asus board. So this board for 6th gen is really, really nice. It is nice to have the NVMe slot, and you can see the performance gain it give it right there. When you look at the read and the write, not too bad. Not for being on a 6th gen board, right? Better than what it was on my 4th gen board. That's gonna do it for this video. Not a super long one, just wanted to show you the parts on our score and get them tested here. The other thing I took out, this was separate, come from eBay, but I don't know, there's glare on it. That's our i7-3770 for the burnt computer. So we got the processor in for that. We just got to go through memory and see if we got enough to put 16 gigs of RAM in it, and we're going to post that thing up for sale. The RGB computer you've seen is already up for sale. It hasn't sold just yet, but it is up for sale now. And I have another, actually got it from a contact. I'm working on some laptops for him, and I got some chargers that I just got the message they come in. So I got a pair of chargers with them, get Windows loaded on one more of them. Actually 3 more, but chargers for 2 of them won't be here till tomorrow. And I'm going to deliver 3 of them to him at the flea market tomorrow so he can list them for sale in the morning. So I'm busy. I'm busy. But this one is tested. Next time we play around with that motherboard, we got us a good test motherboard now. After I used the 4790 I've been tested on, now we got this one here we can throw up and test on until we find a home for it. So they'll always have a purpose. We'll just have to use a different power supply. No, we won't. I got my 750 watt power supply. So that motherboard probably be our test bed, but I'm not going to video putting this in the Gateway or this in the Gateway, because you guys have seen enough builds on the Gateway. That's just going to be the final one for it, and it's leaving tonight or tomorrow. So just busy. We're getting rid of stuff, but getting rid of some of these finds is how we fund getting other finds. That's what it's all about. It's not about making a killing and profit. It's just about getting a computer to somebody who can use it, needs it, and then me being able to buy something else to create content like I did this weekend and last weekend. And I need to start getting time to hit the thrift stores again. Need to go to the thrift stores. The estate sales kind of wind down a little bit in the summer here in Florida, because let me tell you what, it gets hot, smoking hot. So yard sales and stuff's kind of wind down a little bit. Wintertime's better for that, obviously. That's going to be a little slower in the summer, but the marketplace finds, guess what? Just like the summer heat, they heat up and we jump on them. So that's going to do it for the video. Been another great SimSation production. I appreciate each and every one of you that view these videos, subscribe to the channel, like, comment. I enjoy responding to all the comments. I'm going to keep the content coming, just like this.